how did you first meet Redman? Because I know that you two came up together in the same area in the same scene. Um, was it like a gradual thing? Was there a big story out of it? Like how did that relationship start?
It was just a gradual thing. You know, he lived on 20th Street in between the same, like we lived in a neighborhood which was in between graveyards. So we was like the graveyard boys. You know, Tretch is from 18th Street, but he's on the other side of the graveyard, you know,
Yeah.
on the East Orange side. I'm from 19th Street. Redman is from 20th Street. So we're right in between the graveyards, you know, and my block is 19th, Red's is 20th, and then our boys' block is 18th. So we roamed in between the graveyards. If you lived in between the graveyards, you eventually knew each other. We went to the same barbershops. We went to the same corner stores. We hung out on the same corners, you know. So, yeah, it was just a gradual thing. And we just became cool, man, you know, sitting on each other's porches, you know, riding each other's bikes, playing football, then doing other things, to buying cars alike, to, you know, to becoming, you know, doing very well in the rap music industry together. You know, he started as at one point he became my DJ,
Yeah.
and he used to DJ for me all around, and he was just an incredible talent, man. His work ethic is amazing, and to this day, you know, he's one of my best friends.
Now, when you started working with him in music, when he became your DJ, um, was that one of your first experiences working with a DJ? Were you comfortable at that point? Did it go smoothly when you first started working together, or were you working out the kinks? Like, how did it feel when you first started getting going with him?
That wasn't my first experience with a DJ. I was in a group called UCR, the Undercover Rockers, where I had my cousin as my DJ. But I will say this, it was my first experience with a DJ who was a real DJ to me. You know, and Redman was a real DJ to me, man. And that's no disrespect to my cousin, rest in peace, but he was the one who studied. He was the one who practiced. He was the one who looked at records and find the best parts of those records. He was a DJ, man.
Yeah.
And he, you know, he was a spitter.
Oh yeah, of course. But I didn't. That was something I found out more recently. Was his work as a DJ, and it's an amazing thing to see because it's something I'd love to learn more about one day. But it's like I could never. It's so hard to even begin to conceptualize the study it takes to really learn to play vinyl like an instrument, to understand that thought process and that the production that you can make out of it. And it's such a cool skill set to see artists having. But I guess that was just a big part of early hip hop to begin with. Now, when was it? How long between when you worked with Redman and when you started working with Lords of the Underground? Was that you transitioned from working with him straight into Lords of the Underground, or were they like two pretty distinct periods?
Well, I transitioned because I had got caught up in some trouble, and I had promised my mother that if I get out of this trouble, I would go to college. You know, so I lost my baseball scholarships, everything, and I took a year off. And Redman and we met. I introduced him along with my brother Bree, the beggar, who was on. He's the one who's doing the hook on Never Faded. We introduced him to Eric Sermon, and once we introduced him to Eric Sermon, I had already made that promise to my mother that if I got out of my trouble, I would go to college. So I went to college. I went to HBCU in Raleigh, North Carolina, called Shaw University, and Redman went on to record records on EPMD's album, and we still remain friends. So he didn't record as a DJ; he recorded as a rapper because he started writing rhymes when I got in trouble. He started writing rhymes, and he became good at it. So now in hindsight, even just saying it now, probably when I got in trouble, he probably was like, look, if he's not going to be the rapper, then I'm going to be the rapper. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because around that time, he started rapping, and he's probably one of the best top three MCs in New Jersey, top five underground all time, and probably top 10 MC of all time. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it just goes to show that his work ethic. You put your mind to something, and it happens. So when he got with EPMD, I went to school. I met DJ Lord Jazz, and I met my man Derek, and Derek is actually the cousin of Marley Marl, who was just graduating, and he said that he was going to work for Marley, and that we should make he told DJ Lord Jazz that we should make a demo. And Lord Jazz put myself with Funky Man, Al Tariq, and we made Laws of the Underground. So right after Redman, I had gotten to this group, and we came out and really got it going on. So Redman was saving a spot for me in the hit squad, but I guess I didn't need it because we had success with Laws of the Underground and Marley Marl.